Satoru Gojo, the Honor One, and Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. Both chosen by fate and are their versus respective strongest sorcerers, with powers that simply put them ahead of either's competition. Now, but what would happen if these two were to face off in a battle of sorcery? Who would come out on top as the victor in such a scenario? Join me here on the Fictional Matrix as we discuss this and more right now. We interrupt this program to tell you to subscribe to the Fictional Matrix. Now, onto the regular scheduled program. First, I would like to clarify I will be going over 2 rounds. The first would be a what-if scenario where Gojo faced against MCU Doctor Strange, and the second would be how he would face against Doctor Strange Supreme. Obviously, I would not be putting Gojo against comic Doctor Strange because that would not be a debate at all. So, without further ado, let us begin. I would like to first start with the Honored One, the hymn of Jujutsu Kaise. Gojo is without a doubt, as of the latest chapter in the manga, spoiler warning, confirmed to be the strongest sorcerer in Jujutsu Kaise, with powerful techniques such as Curse Technique Lapse Blue, which allows him to pull things towards him, or Reverse Curse Technique Red, which is the opposite, being that it repels things. Then there is Hollow Purple, which is the combination of both blue and red, which pushes and pulls, destroying anything it touches at an atomic level. Gojo can also use the power of infinity to create barriers around himself that slow anything he perceives as dangerous to himself infinitely, making it slower and slower the closer it gets. With his 6 eyes, he has infinite curse energy and can see and sense anything that has curse energy around him. He can also heal with Reverse Curse Technique, being able to regrow entire limbs and healing even dead blows. Gojo's most formidable ability is his domain expansion. He has the sure hit effect to bring infinite information into his opponent's mind, normally causing them to become overwhelmed and destroying their minds in the process. When it comes to speed, many still somehow lowball Jujutsu Kaise to supersonic speeds, when even back in season 1 we have Maki showing off a feat that has been calculated to be around 19.5 times the speed of sound, with more recent chapters introducing characters such as Kashimo, who can attack with lightning level speeds, and have characters way below Gojo like Hikari, who can react to this Kashimo and fight him evenly. So lightning speed is definitely a possibility. Another possibility is the new meta that have been going around, having light speed plus Gojo, with his attacks being called to bring forth imaginary mass, which is theoretically faster than light. Though such a thing is a bit inconsistent with the rest of Jujutsu Kaise, it is still in the realm of considering this possibility for Gojo. In terms of strength, the attack potency most tend to scale in Jujutsu Kaise is to those of the high tiers, being around Iceland levels of power, considering Dagon's creation feat of an entire island and the ocean around it. But a guy like Gojo clearly scales far above all these disaster level curses, putting him above those large island tier comfortably. There are also other metas that put Gojo close to those planetary ranges based on Yuki Sukuma, which she, when turning into a black hole, was stated to do possibly being able to destroy the entire planet. And with Gojo being obviously the strongest sorcerer, then it is definitely in the possibility to put him at such levels of power. As for Doctor Strange, aka the former Sorcerer Supreme, because for some reason Disney thought it would be funny, I guess, Strange can transmutate matter, cast illusions, throw energy attacks, create shields and weapons with that same energy. He can create portals through the ring he has, fly with his cape, duplicate, create enchantments, protection spells, use the bands of Citurek, manipulate and summon the mirror dimension, a space parallel to a real world where Strange has full control of everything within that domain. In terms of speed, Doctor Strange scales like most Avengers to those lightning timing speeds like Spider-Man, who has shown when facing against Electro the capability to dodge lightning blast. There are also the light speed metas based on Thanos reacting to Captain Marvel's photon blast that puts Avengers that have been clearly able to fight Thanos like Strange on those relativistic to light speed reaction speed attacks or attack speed, putting Strange anywhere from massively hypersonic to all the way to light speed. When it comes to strength and attack potency, the baseline strength / durability feat in the MCU is that of Thor's withstanding the force of a star for a few seconds, which has been calculated to Iceland levels of power. Thor then goes on to become even stronger in Endgame, and even with help, he was unable to defeat a younger and much less unprepared Thanos than the one that Strange faced off against. Because keep in mind, Doctor Strange was fighting a Force Infinity Stone Thanos going all out, which already puts Thanos way above those Iceland tiers of power, easily cementing him on those Country Plus levels of power at a low ball, with statements of the Infinity Gauntlet having enough energy to light up an entire continent, which further backs up this claim of Country Plus Doctor Strange. Now that we have the necessary information for this debate, let us begin with round 1. Both fighters possess incredible abilities. They both scale to each other in terms of speed, with Strange having a more consistent light speed metas, giving him the slight edge in this category. In terms of AP, they both possess similar levels, with both being consistently on those country levels of power and both having arguments for higher metas, though Country and Country Plus seem like the safer bet for each other. So far, they both seem evenly matched, so let us go to abilities and see if we can find a definitive winner. In terms of hacks and abilities, they both possess certain win cons. For Gojo is definitely the Infinite Void, where he could potentially trap Strange, warping his mind with the infinite amounts of knowledge that would be pumping into it. Reason being, this particular Strange has never shown any particular feat that grants him the ability to resist such an attack. The most you can argue is him being able to resist it for a few momentarily seconds or picoseconds or whatever you want to call it, and him being able to teleport out of there or summoning the mirror dimension to escape Gojo's infinity. And even such a thing, it's still a little bit iffy on the details if he could actually pull it off. In the case of Strange, his win con is to try and overwhelm Gojo with his superior arsenal and later trap him within the mirror dimension. Strange can definitely counter anything Gojo has aside from his infinity. He has been shown capable of nullifying at spatial warping attacks, such as the case when Thanos threw a singularity attack at him and he was able to transmute it into butterflies. Strange could potentially overwhelm Gojo with his portals, causing Gojo to hit himself, which then would be bypassing his infinity this way. He could summon clones, having each create portals to try and catch him off guard to BFR Gojo into outer space, the sun, or potentially chop him in half, though this one is a little bit unlikely. Strange could even use the mirror dimension to trap Gojo indefinitely. Heck, Gojo's only counter for all of this is his domain expansion, but if Strange plays his cards well, it would be almost impossible to catch him in it. Gojo has way better stamina and regen. He also has better physical strength feats, but Strange is just as skilled and has a wider arsenal that I believe could give him the win more often than not. The fight is a very close one, each depending on their trump card to truly end the other. Now all that said, what about the GOAT Supreme? Well, this one is, in all honesty, not even close. This is just another Doctor Strange, but with far bigger arsenal, more knowledge, and a level of power capable of battling multiversal level foes such as Ultron. This is a Strange that is as close as you get to the comics Doctor Strange. Strange Supreme is a particular Strange that has the ability to adapt and absorb the powers of others. He would easily counter and adapt immediately to the domain expansion. Hell, he could possibly simply absorb Gojo when meeting him and end it right there. Strange Supreme is on a whole nother level. So yeah, While Gojo vs Strange Supreme might be a complete stomp against normal Doctor Strange, it is a very close and fun matchup that would honestly be incredible to watch. But what are your thoughts on this debate? Make sure to tell me on the comments, and please leave a like if you enjoyed. Have a great day, God bless you all, and see you on the next video on the Fictional Matrix.